Welcome to our channel. Listen to short audiobooks every day and improve yourself.
Simon Roberts, The Power of Not Thinking, How Our Bodies Learn and Why We Should Trust Them. Have you ever struggled to learn a new skill, despite reading about it and mentally understanding the steps? Do you ever find yourself trapped in analysis paralysis, as if there is a deeper understanding that's eluding you? The answer may lie not in your head, but in your body. We'll explore the power of embodied knowledge, the wisdom and intelligence that resides in our physical being. You'll discover how engaging your senses, honing your skills, and tuning into your bodily intuition is crucial to understanding and performance. Whether it's an athlete striving for peak performance or a business leader navigating complex markets, we'll see how important it is to immerse ourselves, look for unspoken cues, and adapt on the fly with grace and skill. So get ready to step out of your head and into your body, because your body is wiser than you know. Bodily wisdom. Picture a nondescript office building in Silicon Valley. Inside, a team of brilliant roboticists and machine learning engineers is grappling with a single challenge: teaching a machine to drive a car. This seemingly simple task, one millions of people perform daily, has proven to be a formidable obstacle in the quest for autonomous vehicles. The apparent ease with which we humans navigate roads, interpret traffic signals, and anticipate other drivers' actions belies, beneath the surface, an intricate dance of perception, planning, and prediction. As these engineers work to replicate human driving abilities, they're confronting a fundamental truth about intelligence. Intelligence isn't a product of our brains alone. Rather, it's a symphony conducted by our entire bodies. This concept, known as embodied knowledge, challenges centuries of thinking about the nature of human cognition. The notion that our intelligence resides primarily in our brains has deep roots in Western philosophy. René Descartes' famous declaration, "I think, therefore I am," cemented the idea of the mind as separate from, and indeed superior to, the body. This philosophical view, called dualism, has permeated our understanding of intelligence for centuries. Beginning in the 20th century, it was reinforced by the advent of computers and the attractive analogy between computers and the brain. However, not only is this analogy a misleading one, it also carries an assumption within it that is misleading in its own way: a brain-centric notion of intelligence. The view of intelligence fails to account for the myriad ways our bodies inform our understanding of the world. When a martial artist anticipates an opponent's move, when a surfer reads the waves, or when a nurse detects a patient's distress before any monitor sends a signal, they're drawing on knowledge that resides not just in their minds, but also in their bodies. Consider the act of driving a car with manual transmission. A novice driver consciously processes each step. Clutch down, shift gear, accelerate gently, release clutch. But an experienced driver performs these actions fluidly, without conscious thought. The car becomes an extension of the body, with the driver instinctively responding to the hum of the engine, the feel of the road, and the movements of surrounding vehicles. This intuitive understanding, developed through repeated physical experience, exemplifies embodied knowledge. Embodied knowledge manifests in our ability to navigate complex social situations, our intuitive grasp of physical laws, and our capacity for empathy. It's the reason why virtual reality can induce genuine fear, why actors use physical techniques to access emotions, and why muscle memory is crucial in sports, music, and beyond. Embodied cognition doesn't negate the importance of our remarkable brains. Rather, it paints a more complete picture of human intelligence as an intricate interplay between mind and body, each informing and enhancing the other. This holistic view of intelligence offers new avenues for education, artificial intelligence development, and our understanding of human cognition. Pillars of embodiment. Imagine a master chef in her kitchen, effortlessly switching between simmering pots and sizzling pans. Without consulting a recipe or measuring ingredients, she conducts a symphony of flavors, her hands moving with a grace that speaks of years of experience. This is embodied knowledge in action, a form of intelligence that resides not just in the mind, but in the very fiber of our being. Fundamentally, embodied knowledge is acquired through 5 interconnected processes: observation, practice, improvisation, empathy, and retention. Each of these elements contributes to a holistic form of understanding that goes beyond what can be learned from books or lectures alone. Let's look at each in turn. Observation, the first pillar of embodied knowledge, is more than just passive watching. It's an active engagement of many senses at once. Research into sensory integration reveals that our brains combine information from multiple senses to create a more accurate perception of our surroundings. This multisensory approach to learning allows for a deeper, more nuanced understanding than visual observation alone. Consider how a sommelier doesn't just look at wine, but swirls, sniffs, and tastes it, using their entire body to assess its quality. Or consider the remarkable skills of indigenous trackers in the Kalahari Desert, who can read subtle signs in nature, like bent grass, disturbed pebbles, or the scent of soil to track animals across vast distances. A testament to the power of finely tuned observational skills. Practice, the second element, is where the body truly begins to internalize knowledge. Neuroimaging studies have demonstrated that repeated practice of a skill leads to increased myelination of relevant neural pathways, a process that enhances the speed and efficiency of transmitted signals. This biological change underpins the process of deliberate practice. Research shows that various fields require about 10,000 hours of practice to achieve mastery. It is through just this sort of dedicated repetition that our bodies learn to perform complex tasks with minimal conscious thought, freeing our minds to focus on higher-level aspects of performance. Improvisation, the third aspect of embodied knowledge, is where such knowledge truly shines. Neuroscientific research on jazz musicians shows increased activity in brain areas associated with language and syntax during improvisation, suggesting a link between musical and linguistic creativity. Having mastered the underlying motor skills, the musicians' minds can now express themselves fluidly with these building blocks, allowing for greater complexity and nuance. However, this ability to adapt learned skills to novel situations extends far beyond the arts. Studies on expert athletes reveal superior anticipatory skills, allowing them to predict and react to opponents' moves before they occur. For another dramatic example of improvisation, consider pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger's successful landing of a commercial airliner on the Hudson River after both its engines failed. This feat demonstrated remarkable embodied skill, leading to the capacity to improvise and adapt under extreme pressure. So those are 3 aspects of embodied knowledge. Let's look at the 2 remaining ones next. Empathy and memory in the body. Empathy, the 4th component of embodied knowledge, highlights how our bodies play a profound role in helping us understand and connect with others. When we witness someone in distress, our own bodies react, our heart rate increases, we may feel a knot in our stomach, our muscles may tense. These physical responses are part of how we attune ourselves to others emotionally, enabling us to share in their emotional states. This was underscored by the discovery in the 1990s of mirror neurons. These specialized cells in the brain fire when we perform an action, but it turns out that they also fire when we observe the same action performed by others. Mirror neurons provide a neurological basis for empathy, suggesting that we physically simulate the actions, sensations, and emotions of others within our own bodies. This internal mirroring enables us to gain a deeper, more intuitive understanding of others' experiences as we momentarily become the other person in a bodily sense. This bodily basis for empathy is vividly exemplified in the technique known as method acting, a style of performance in which actors deeply immerse themselves in their characters' experiences. Rather than simply portraying emotions through manipulating their external expressions, method actors strive to feel the emotions of their characters authentically. They engage in a form of embodied simulation, physically and emotionally aligning themselves with the character's inner world. This process requires going beyond merely intellectual understanding. Actors must draw on their own bodily memories, sensations, and emotions, effectively blurring the lines between their own identities and their characters. Through this physical and emotional immersion, method actors are able to deliver performances that resonate with authenticity and depth, demonstrating the intrinsic link between empathy and the body. Finally, retention speaks to how our bodies serve as repositories of memory. Research on procedural memory shows that skills like riding a bicycle are stored in different brain regions than declarative memories, explaining why physical skills can remain for decades, even without any practice. The field of embodied cognition takes this farther, revealing that our physical states can influence our cognitive processes. For instance, studies show that people perform better on memory tasks when their body posture matches the emotional content of the memories, suggesting memory storage and retrieval have a physical component. This bodily aspect of memory is strikingly illustrated in stroke survivors, who, despite losing the ability to speak, can often still sing familiar songs, demonstrating how deeply ingrained certain memories are in the body. Together, these 5 aspects of embodied knowledge — observation, practice, improvisation, empathy, and retention — create a powerful, adaptable form of intelligence that is uniquely human. In an age when artificial intelligence and automation are rapidly advancing, recognizing and nurturing our embodied knowledge becomes increasingly relevant. It may represent forms of intelligence that machines, for all their computational power, struggle to replicate. Insights from the campfire. Picture a group of executives huddled around a campfire in a California national park, their wheelie suitcases incongruously propped against their tents. This wasn't a corporate retreat gone awry, but a deliberate strategy to understand their market in a profoundly new way. Welcome to the world of embodied knowledge in business. Traditionally, businesses have relied heavily on quantitative data, market reports, and abstract models to understand their consumers and markets. While these tools are valuable, they can often fall short in capturing the nuanced emotional aspects of consumer behavior. The embodied knowledge approach posits that true understanding comes not just from analyzing data, but from physically experiencing and immersing oneself in the world of the consumer. It's about trading boardroom presentations for real-world experiences that engage all the senses. The camping trip in question was taken by the leadership of Duracell, the battery company. Executives spent several days in the wilderness, experiencing firsthand the challenges faced by outdoor enthusiasts. They struggled with setting up tents in fading daylight, learned about the importance of proper clothing, and discovered the critical role of reliable lighting in the dark. As the temperature dropped and they huddled around the campfire, the executives gained insights that no market report could provide. They felt the anxiety of a faltering flashlight and understood viscerally why outdoor enthusiasts are passionate about their gear. In short, they developed a deeper understanding of what their target market needs and values. The result of this immersive experience was a highly successful advertising campaign featuring free climber Kevin Jorgeson ascending Yosemite's Dawn Wall at night. The campaign resonated deeply with the outdoor community, garnering millions of views and effectively communicating Duracell's keen understanding of their customers' needs. Meanwhile, Facebook tackled the challenge of serving users in emerging markets through an initiative called 2G Tuesdays. Engineers in Silicon Valley, accustomed to lightning-fast internet, voluntarily throttled their connections to mimic the slow, unreliable networks common in countries like India. This weekly ritual of patience and sometimes frustration opened their eyes to the real-world challenges faced by millions, if not billions, of potential users. The insights gained led directly to the development of Facebook Lite, an app optimized for low-bandwidth conditions, one that quickly became the company's fastest-growing product. Such embodied experiences do more than just inform product development. They transform leaders and employees alike into powerful carriers of knowledge within their organizations. Unlike dry reports that may gather dust on a shelf, people with lived experience become passionate advocates, able to articulate consumer needs with conviction and authenticity. They can seamlessly switch between the perspective of the customer and the constraints of their organization, grounding abstract business goals in more concrete terms. As markets become increasingly complex, the value of embodied knowledge is likely to grow. By marrying quantitative insights with the rich, contextual understanding that comes from the body, companies can develop a more holistic, nuanced view of their markets. The main takeaway of this To the Power of Not Thinking by Simon Roberts is that our bodies play a crucial role in shaping our intelligence and understanding of the world. Embodied knowledge, the wisdom gained through physical experiences, sensations, and actions, is just as important as mental knowledge. By engaging our senses, practicing skills, improvising, empathizing, and relying on bodily memory, we develop a rich, nuanced understanding that goes beyond what the mind alone can grasp. In an age of artificial intelligence and big data, embodied knowledge serves as a powerful reminder of the irreplaceable value of human experience. It's a call to step out from behind the spreadsheets and into the messy, complex world of real consumers, one that must be sensed, felt, and lived to be truly understood.